Hello, welcome to the Sound of Science, the place where we deconstruct unscientific bogus and silly scams. Let's go get them. Hello, you wonderful critical thinkers. Thank you so much for watching. Today I want to show you a hilarious clip of a Christian who frequently visits the comment section of my channel. His YouTube name is Topics of Religion, and some of you already have had comment debates with him. Now, first of all, let me say that I do not yet despise this man. I just think he makes exotically silly comments and astoundingly stupid videos. But I might disagree with this man. I might think he has mango salad for brains. But what I do respect is that he puts in the effort, making videos, posting comments, a guy on his own making content, and that is what YouTube is meant for. Now that I've said some nice things about this real-life Zoolander, let me show you a clip of his latest video, in which he demonstrates to be deliciously clueless about basic logic. So hold on to your seat.
Anyway, the reason why I'm not at least bit worried about atheists not liking what I have to say, or not liking me as a person, or whatever. I mean, I don't know if you guys hate me or just the message. I really don't care.
Look, it's not that I don't like you, or hate your message, at least not yet. But I just think that your videos and comments are very silly. That's totally different.
Then the reason why it doesn't bother me is because I know that in the end, we're going to find out.
No, you don't know that. You believe that. But if there is no God and if there is no heaven, then in the end we just die and nobody will find out anything.
So here's the pickle. If you are correct and I'm wrong, guess what? We'll all just become part of the earth and fade away, and that's fine.
See? So in the end, nobody might find out anything.
But if I'm correct and you're wrong, I'll be in heaven. Where will you be? Good question.
No, it's not a good question, but we'll get to that in a moment.
I'd rather serve Jesus knowing that I'll go to heaven, and if I'm wrong, nothing will happen.
Well, that's a contradiction, isn't it? If in the end it turns out you were wrong, then you didn't know that you would go to heaven. You only believed it. And in that case, you wasted an entire life worshipping a fake God.
Then to be an atheist, whereas if you're wrong as an atheist, that's a big problem. But if you're right, then no foul. And I know the answer is, well, I'll take my chance.
No, you don't know that is the answer, because that is not the answer. Not believing that a God exists has got nothing to do with taking a chance. We atheists have that position for lack of evidence for the existence of a God. In the same way, I don't believe that Voldemort exists. So I have little fear that Voldemort will come down to my place and turns me into a little piglet with one of his magic spells. That has got nothing to do with taking a chance. It's just that there is no evidence that proves that Voldemort exists, just like there is no evidence that your God exists. So taking chances is irrelevant.
But that's a big chance to take. I'd rather serve God.
No, you have no idea if that is a big chance, because you didn't calculate the probability. You just say it's a big chance, but in reality you have no clue about the odds. It's like not going outside, for if the hammer of Thor will crush into your head, you will vaporize instantly. That's a big chance to take, isn't it?
Christianity's not hurting anybody, despite what the atheists say.
Except for the millions of people who have been killed during the Crusades and the Spanish Inquisition, the witch hunts, the colonial missionary violence, and the numerous wars that were fought in the name of Christianity. But these are not really atheistic talking points. Even most Christians admit that Christianity had some very dark pages in their history. But all of that is besides the real point, because your entire argument is nonsense. It's so strange and funny at the same time. that these budget Christian apologists on YouTube make the same mistakes over and over and over again. This specific pseudo-argument has been demonstrated to be nonsense a million times. And it looks like this guy doesn't know that. He has 660 videos on his YouTube channel. I think mostly about religion and atheism. He says to be on YouTube for over 15 years. Yet he never bothered to find out if his argument is a good argument or a bad argument. Sweet mother of Gandalf. Topics of religion. Please let me explain why your argument is totally silly. You think there's only two options. Either I am right or you are right. How about both of us not being right? How about Allah being the real God, or one of the thousands of other gods that are known to mankind? What if there's a God that nobody even knew about? You might end up in their hell. And atheists, however, they might get away with it. So again, this is basic logic. It's not just a matter of you can be right or I can be right, but both of us could be wrong. And then, depending on who is the real God, you might be the one dancing on flames for eternity.
No atheist has ever convinced me that any of their diatribe is true.
Diatribes? You think that the words of the atheists that you meet online are diatribes? Have you ever read the Bible? God is angry on numerous occasions, and he speaks in anger and issues warnings all the time. And if the atheists that you meet online here on YouTube are angry, if at all, they at least only use words. If your God is angry, he drowns all the babies and children in your town. Atheists are much more patient and loving than your God is. And what atheist claims that are not true are you referring to? Most atheists don't really make a truth claim about your God. They just don't believe your claim that a God exists. Mostly because there is no evidence that proves the existence of your God.
And all I see is the lies. I mean, there's just 100% lies. Nothing that you say has convinced me of any truth on your end. So,
but how is that our mistake? Maybe you are simply not capable of understanding what evidence is, and that we need it to determine if your God exists or not. Let me do a little test with you. Here's my question. Does the existence of, for example, DNA prove that your God exists? If your answer to that question is yes, then you have clearly demonstrated not to be capable to determine what is true and what is not true. And in that case, your assumption that atheists only tell lies is just an illusion.
Oh well, I'll continue doing what I'm doing. You do whatever you want to do. It's called free will. I know you guys deny that.
No. What are you even talking about? Atheists do not deny free will. That is untrue. So you are either lying or making a mistake by accident. Atheists just don't believe the claim that your God exists. That means that we don't believe that free will, if it indeed exists, came from your God. You see, in reality, free will is just the absence of force and oppression. It's not something that you can give to people. They just have it by default. Free will can only be taken away from people by dictators like your God. If your God, if he were to exist, would just leave us alone, then everybody would have free will as a default. But no, your God comes along, telling us what to do and what not to do, threatening us with eternal torture if we don't obey him, drowning entire populations who don't wish to follow him. Your God doesn't give anyone free will. He's one of the dictators who takes it away from us, if he were to exist. But anyway, your entire argument about what if you atheists are wrong, your argument totally fails. Because if you are wrong, not only did you waste your entire life on worshipping a non-existing God, you might even end up in the eternal flames of the real God that you didn't anticipate. And it's astonishing that you didn't think about that. Sweet Uncle of Frodo. Anyway, thanks for watching.